Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to the channel and the bike build. It's known as the Dart at the moment, unless you can come up with a better name. I'm open to suggestions. Great to see lots of people have been subscribing, but I'd like to push the channel up to 1500 subscribers if that's possible. So please like, subscribe, hit the subscribe button in the corner of the screen or below. It doesn't cost anything and it'd be great to try and develop the channel. This time it will be welding in the under tray, cutting off brackets off the frame, unused brackets, dressing things up, cutting bits off, brackets off, anything that's going to go to powder coat. It's going to be a marathon welding grinding session, but the big plus is that the weather's improved. It was -3, then it was 3, now it's 13. I don't need my big jacket, so there's that as well. So at least might be able to do a bit of work outside. So lots of welding, lots of grinding. Let's get on with it. So ready to start welding in the under tray at last, and I've cleaned up all the edges and got rid of the mill scale, I think it's called, the black stuff. People saying that might affect my welding, maybe it's causing some of the spatter. So I've cleaned that up. The tube's all clean. I'm also going to use some anti-spatter spray because I want to keep the under tray as clean as possible. I don't want to have to be dressing it all up, and just it's nice and flat. So hopefully I can get a nice clean weld on. Get this on and we'll be a bit closer to getting powder coated. That's all welded. It's not perfect. I really need to get some welding practice in. It's pretty good. I'm happy with it, and I think with it being powder coated it'll cover any little pits and bits like that. When I take it for powder coating, I'll ask the guy if it'll cover them. If it won't, what I'll have to do is get it shot blasted, bring it back home, and then you can fill with JB Weld, which will stand 500 odd degrees, which is enough to be powder coated over. So if it's not going to be perfect when the powder coat it, I'll do that and bring it back. The next job is this bar. I've ordered a piece of tube off eBay. This is 12.7, 2mm wall thickness, which is definitely thicker than that was. I don't know that I even need this bar. I don't know why it's there. It doesn't even seem to be doing very much. There's nothing fastened to it. They're just like supports, whether it's put together like that so when they weld it up it doesn't close up, but it was there, so I'm going to cut it off there, cut it off there, cut it off there, cut it off there, cut a new piece, weld that in, and then after that I have gone round and marked up brackets that I don't need. Cut these little bits off. There was one on there got cut off, that one there. So those brackets all need cutting off, dressing up, so I've got that to do. after a marathon welding and grinding session. The rear tray is in, all the holes are filled up, and also the brackets all cut off on the frame, so that's about ready for powder coating. That's welded in, that's been welded in and dressed up. That hole I filled with a little piece of metal, welded it and dressed it back. I have no idea what it was for, that one. I looked at all my pictures and I can't find anything. Brackets have all been taken off here. Any extra bits, it's all been dressed up. They've all been smoothed in. Actually, it's not amazing, but I'm hoping that the powder coat will cover all of any little dimples and imperfections. So that is, I've welded a nut under there, captive nut under there. So I have got another thing that's been bothering me. The seat unit was going to be covered in material, just fully covered, but now because it's getting painted on the tank, I'm thinking that maybe the seat hump should be painted and just a seat from there, and either keep the sides and have the seat pads set on there, or just cut it off in line with the seat supports and just have this section painted and then a seat there. Let me know what you think. I really can't decide, and I may have to do some slightly different bracketing, so that's going to hold up the powder coating. Anyway, so next on the powder coat prep is the side plates. These don't do anything. I've looked at pictures of original Hornets and these don't do anything. I think that possibly when it was the CBR 600, they were used for something. That held the side panel, so that's got to be cut off. That held the side panel and that guided the tube to the rear brake master cylinder, so that can be cut off, but I'm going to keep that because the master cylinder will fasten on nicely there, shorten it up instead of having it over here somewhere. So that's that one, so they're to grind off. On the swinging arm, it's a case of getting off all this rubber stuff and cutting off these brackets which held the chain guard. On a UK MOT, I've looked into it and all it says is that if you have a chain guard it has to be secured. It doesn't say you have to have a chain guard, and I think it's more if you have a pillion that you need a chain guard to protect them. That seems to be the only real one. There won't be any possibility of a pillion riding on here, so I think I can get away with no chain guard. So I'm going to cut them off and go for the test like that. So those are the next bits to start cutting off and dressing up. Right, that's going to be it for this time. I've gone round and dressed off any casting marks off the side plates. I'd really like to know what you think about the seat, about painting, whether to just get it covered in vinyl, whether to make a seat hump, Or a third thought I've had is that I could make a cover, so you would have the choice of a vinyl seat or a vinyl with a little cover over it, and I've got an idea how I might do that. Next time I'll be degreasing the swinging arm, then I will be taking the bearings and the dust seals out of the swinging arm, bearings etc, discs off the front and back wheel, and covering up anything that doesn't want to be powder coated, bearing areas, stuff like that. Hopefully that'll be a bit more interesting than this week, but it's all got to be done. So I will see you next Wednesday.